running in circles for a game? Running in circles, chasing your tail. You're not gonna catch it, bro. That's not how physics work. And if you do, I highly advise you to not do anything about it. Dang, bro. Anyway, first off, let me adjust my RAM and CPU on my other computer. And then I'm gonna address this article that we have in front of me. Now, as I said in my other previous couple videos about similar topics, it is now Smash News Cycle season. And how did I say that we know it's Smash News Cycle season? Because yet again, we're hearing more shit about how Sakurai says he's swearing to God that he's not thinking about a Smash sequel after he already written his secret game proposal. Alright, bud. Like I said, the only scenario I see where Sakurai doesn't do a sequel to the current Smash game is in a scenario where he hands off the reins to somebody else, which Sakurai, the type of work ethic this man has, he's not gonna do no shit like that till he's literally on his deathbed. During the special finale episode on wait, when was this article written? November 3rd? Oh shit, this is a little bit late. Fuck it, we ball. During his final episode, so for those of y'all who don't know, Masahiro Sakurai has a show where he talks about game development, and this was the same show if you've watched my previous videos. But in a previous video, I went over an article where Masahiro Sakurai explained that he spent like 60,000. I believe it was 600. It was either 600,000 or 60,000. It was at least 60,000, but he spent a lot of money. He spent multiple $10,000. I know that much. He spent tens and thousands of dollars making this series just to not benefit off of it. Like if you go to the channel right now and click on like 10 videos of his in a row, you will not get a single ad. The channel's not even monetized because he did it as an investment towards future game developers and whatnot. But the point of me saying that is he has something on there, and on there, you know, Masahiro Sakurai is known for the Kirby franchise and the Smash franchise. Now, he hasn't had a hand in the Kirby franchise for a long time, but he does still have his hands in the Smash franchise. So people like me who may not care that much about game development per se will watch to see if there's any like little tidbits of Smash news. And apparently, that's what we're getting right now. He had apparently written a game proposal at lightning speed around 21. It was around July 2021. Let's see if they got any details in here that I didn't previously see. Of course, Sakurai wasn't willing to tell because it's not ready for promotion yet, and you never promote some shit that's not done. That's just a general life advice, because like if you deal with anybody, let's say like you're a content creator, for example, right? Let's say you're promoting a song and a music video, right? And you go up to like a big music label executive and you go, yo, bro, I got the most fire song and the most fire music video in the business. And he goes, oh, that's cool. This song is fire. Well, let me see it. It's not out yet. It's not done. How do you know the song is good if it's not finished? You know, like, and if it's not finished, why are you telling me about it? Why are you telling me about something I can't see? Like, imagine being a store owner telling niggas about food they can't buy. Like, imagine being a store owner. Like, imagine being a waiter, right? You a waiter. You walking up to some customers. You like, yo, y'all ready to order, gang? All right, y'all ready to order? I bet. We ain't got no potatoes in here, but we are gonna have a deal tomorrow if we have the potatoes where you get 50% off on your meal if you order any type of fries. We don't got no potatoes in the back, so that deal's not available today. And even if we did have the potatoes, you wouldn't be able to get the deal. I'm just letting you know we got 50% off on any meal you buy fries with tomorrow if we get the potatoes. But what you want to order today though? Why you sitting right here, right now, hungry as shit, wanting to save money, because a deal is a deal. Wanting to save money. What you want today? Like, you see how awkward that stare was? Like, you would just be looking back like, why are you telling me about something I can't have? Same thing. You don't promote things that aren't ready. That's why he said, hey, I want to tell y'all niggas about it, but I really can't right now because ain't shit to tell you about, technically. Coincidentally, official details about the Switch successor, Nintendo's next big console. I love how, like, out of every console, Nintendo is the only one that doesn't get criticized for giving their consoles all these wacky names. Because think about it. People complain about the naming scheme of the Xbox, rightfully so, because the Xbox has a nonsensical naming scheme. We went from Xbox to Xbox 360 to Xbox 360 Enhanced or Xbox 360e to Xbox One. Xbox One Scarlet. No, Xbox One Scorpio. It was Xbox One Scorpio, Xbox One Scarlet. Instead of just saying Xbox One Pro or Xbox 720, a perfect name that was right the fuck there, they said, nah, this is gonna be the all-in-one device, so we're gonna call it the Xbox One. Stupidest shit ever. But okay, Xbox One. They went from Xbox One to Xbox Scarlet, then Xbox Scorpio, then Xbox One S. All three of these are, all four of those names I gave you for the Xbox One are 4 different console revisions within the Xbox's lifespan that have slightly different specs going up and ranging from different prices depending on when you bought them. So it's 4 different versions of the Xbox One, like design versions. Then where do we go up the Xbox One? Maybe the Xbox 2? Nope, the Xbox X / Series, the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S. Where's my phone? My bad. Then where do we go from there? The Xbox Series S / the Xbox Series X. Just nonsensical shit, didn't make any sense. Versus Nintendo, on the other hand, they had the Nintendo Entertainment System. That was their first game console. Okay, that's cool, that's valid, that makes sense. Super Nintendo Entertainment System, the SNES, or Super Nintendo as it's commonly known. Okay, the first one, the Nintendo Entertainment System, was often shortened to a Nintendo or the Nintendo. So the Super Nintendo, okay, so it's better than the other one, SNES. Then they threw a curveball. They said we got the Nintendo 64. When the fuck did you drop the Nintendo 63? When did you drop the Nintendo 62? When did you extend the joke until it gets tired? When did you drop those? You dropped none of those. Yeah, you dropped the 64 for Nintendo, whatever. So surely the next one will be the Nintendo 65. Nope. Guess what the next one was called? The GameCube. What the fuck? Then the next console after that is a power of 1.5 GameCubes taped together. What are they gonna call it? Surely the Wii. Not even a real fucking word. They literally made up, like, the name of the console Wii is literally a made up word. I don't know if y'all know that. A lot of people don't know that and think it's Japanese or some shit. No, it's literally just a made up word. So after the Wii, instead of naming the next console the Wii 2, they named it the Wii U. The console was called Wii because it was supposed to be shared with people, as in this is a console that we play with. Now we're gonna take the console that is known for casualizing gaming and making games that you could play with your grandma. We're gonna take that console that we call the Wii because you're supposed to play it with other people, so we are playing a game, and we're gonna make it just for you. The Wii U. Now, the next console, they threw motion controls on it. Surely being that the next console is gonna have a tablet and motion controls, it'll have a similar name. Nope. Nintendo Switch. What? It's called what? All the names have context and make sense, but still, all those names make sense, unlike the Xbox. Still can't tell you why the Xbox 360 is called the Xbox 360. I can't even begin to guess why. Actually, you know what? Let's look that up. Let's find out together. Why was the Xbox 360 called that? because yo, this is how you could tell AI is fucking terrible. The Xbox 360 was named such because it was the 360th Xbox product. Now, if we go to now we don't need to go to Wikipedia because we know better, right? We know that's wrong. But if you go to Wikipedia, where is it? Where's the Xbox? You go to Wikipedia and you look at the Xbox consoles list. There's only what the fuck is that? There's only, where's the list? Maybe later. Get the fuck out of my face. Oh my god. Oh my god, get out of my face, please. All right, if you look, the first Xbox product was the Xbox, the original Xbox, the Xbox OG as people call it. Okay. The next product from Xbox is Xbox 360. Not even two products. Not even two products when you got to the Xbox 360. So this is proof, if any, to stop trusting this fucking AI. That's why if y'all pay attention, whenever I go to Google, I scroll straight past that shit. When was this written? Holy jeez. When was this written? Continue reading. 4 years ago. Originally answered, why was the first Xbox called the Xbox 360? Well, the next one. It was called the Xbox, later named DirectX. Well, yeah, for those of y'all who don't know, basically Windows, the way that it renders graphics like 3D graphics and all that other crazy stuff is using a program called DirectX. So using a gaming console based off of DirectX meant specifically for playing games, Xbox, because DirectX, Xbox, okay, cool. The second one that went on sale in 2005, Xbox 360. It was called the Xbox 360. As I recall, so allegedly, Andrew Waller worked at Microsoft. Take it with a grain of salt. We're just reading this for giggles and shits. I'm gonna see if I can find a more credible source. But I was leaving or had just left Microsoft. They needed to separate the brand from traditional version numbering. The internal code name was Xenon, which was great as a top secret project name for game developers, but not something that played well with consumers. I don't really know why, because Xenon is a pretty unique name, but I could understand them wanting to stand out, but also not want to confuse a consumer, because that's the number one thing you never want to do. You never want to confuse a consumer, because then it gives them a reason to not buy your stuff. And as I talked about on yesterday's stream, as a person who creates things for sale, or even if you don't create things for sale, if you have to in any way, shape, or form pitch an idea to somebody, the number one thing you don't want to do is give them an excuse to say fuck no to your pitch. Like, you could, if you're a jittery and you remember when you wanted to stay over at your cousin's house for the weekend and you had to pitch the idea to your mom and you had to step to your mom a certain way, or else she would be like, hell no, stay your ass home. Think of it like that. Any type of situation where you got to convince somebody of something, the number one thing you want to do is make sure that there are the smallest amount that you can possibly control excuses available. So for example, the example I gave yesterday, I believe, is, no, I didn't give this example, but this is something I learned working for that piece of shit company called Cutco. Amazing cutlery, shitty payouts. But one thing I learned from them is that whenever you want to check and see if somebody, whenever you want to trick somebody into doing something with you, you give them 2 time frames. The way that they recommended it and the way that I do it are slightly different, but it's a similar process. You give them 2 time slots. Now, the way they said is pick 2 time slots of varying difference on different days. So for example, you could say, oh, would you want me to call tomorrow at 12:30? Would you want me to call you Friday at 12:30 and 12:30 p.m. or would you prefer I call Saturday 5:30 p.m.? Now, the enhancement I add is the first time you throw in a time you know good and goddamn well they're not available. Then you throw in a time when you know they're free, so they're more likely to pick that time because they believe that they chose to do that. And people are always more willing and open-minded when they feel like they've chosen to be in a situation. That's just like psychology 101. And really it's the illusion of choice, but when somebody feels like they chose to be in a situation, they're more open-minded to the things going on, versus when they feel like they're forced, or they feel like they're obligated to do it because like you're their friend, their nephew or something like that. You have to let them you have to help them feel as comfortable as they possibly can in this scenario. So same thing with a consumer, anybody you're trying to convince of anything. I just use that because that's the most obvious example. Everybody knows that in order for a company to sell you their shit, they have to convince you to buy their shit, and that their shit is better than everybody else's shit, even if it's all some bullshit. Point is, yeah, I can understand how that would be confusing for the consumer, but that spiel was a little side thing, just me bestowing some knowledge upon you. But still, yeah, I can understand why they wouldn't want to use Xenon for like the average mom, because keep in mind, this 2006 is back when people were just starting to realize that more than kids played games. This is when the average age of a gamer started going up. It wasn't noticeable yet, but this is when it just started creeping up. More mature games started getting popular and things like that, such as Call of Duty. But yeah, a lot of people that were buying this console were gonna be old. We're gonna be fucking grandmas and moms. During this time, the UX, HW, and branding guys were converging on a circle to illustrate the status of the box around the on button. This, as well as in, what the fuck is that? An edict is a decree or announcement of law often associated with monarchies, but it can be under any official authority. This nigga saying Microsoft is a monarchy. This nigga saying Microsoft is a monarchy. But this, as well as an edict from upper management to find a term that described a paradigm shift, led to the idea of 360 being proposed as a new Xbox brand title. This played well internally as the term 360 meshed with the concept of the idea of this being a revolution in living room console design. It was, generally as these things happens, it was a confluence of events, so the ordering is fuzzy. I guess that means a lot using context clues. Okay, confluence. Definition. There we go. Is it confluence? Okay. Confluence, same shit. The junction of two, no. An act or a process of merging. Okay, basically saying all the details are hazy. They're all hazy. I don't remember any. But, yeah. That's just a little interesting tangent I wanted to go on. I just found that interesting. Nobody will riot when we say what's the next Nintendo console gonna be called, but God forbid Xbox reveal a name that don't make sense. Niggas riot. Nintendo's big console are also a pretty big scare. According to Nintendo president Fukuwara, the Switch successor is slated to be revealed before the end of the fiscal year, which ends for them on the 1st of April 2025. At this point, the time between the start of this new game's development and today has spanned longer than the start of Smash Ultimate's development, roughly in February 2016 to its first reveal trailer in March 2018. So Ultimate was in development for about 2 years. Of course, the confirmation that Sakurai has been working on a new game immediately spurred on speculation of it being the next Smash, blah blah blah. After all, Nintendo and Sakurai, a new iteration for every console debuted since the N64. However, it's important to note that Daddy Sax, aka Masahiro Sakurai, was specifically asked about the possibility of a sequel to Ultimate shortly after that game's development wrapped up, specifically for Mitsu, had arranged an interview with him, which got translated by that I hope is a lovely, wonderful person. Hilariously enough, he initially responded to the question about a sequel to Smash by exclaiming "impossible" multiple times, mostly in reference to the amount of content packaged in Ult. On multiple occasions before, Sakurai had declared that developing a true follow-up to Ultimate would prove difficult, mostly due to the "everyone is here" theme, as he did not believe it would be possible to repeat this, which would inevitably result in a smaller roster. I think I would be fair in saying that there's literally no company that could get a character in Smash that wouldn't want their character to appear in Smash again. Like, this is not no damn indie game or nothing like that. This is a game that is selling multiple millions. Like, let's see how many copies this game sold, because it already outsold Brawl. How much? Yeah, how much? How much is better? How much did... I just put Smash Ultimate. It'll fill in any details for me. Sell. 35 million. So you, as a company CEO, you'd be a fucking dingus to take your character or to say that they don't have the rights to use your character again in the next iteration of their game. When this one sold 35 million, and the more popular this franchise is, and the more popular this franchise is, and the more entries it gets, the more and more it will sell. You'd be a fucking idiot, a total numbskull, dumbass, stupido, fucking idiot of the highest degree to take your character out this game or say, oh, we're gonna pull the license for you to put this character in your next game. Fuck no. Most of these studios are begging to have their character in Smash because that's free promotion for a very long time. So in terms of rights, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. The only one you even have a chance of having to worry about is Disney. But if you're putting the same character in the next iteration of the game, shouldn't be a fucking problem. It's not like even the most bitchy company, Square Enix, they're not bitching at all. So the most bitchy company is the least bitchy when it comes to Smash. Well, besides the music, but who gives a fuck about that? We're talking about the characters. I don't see why not. Rights-wise, I don't see why not. I am not thinking of a sequel. I am not thinking of it every time, he said with these comedic outbursts. However, I can't say with certainty that this would be the end of Smash. I can say with certainty it won't be the end of Smash. His philosophy for developing the Smash series has always been to develop each game in the series as though it could be the last one. Fair. Live every day like it's your last. I get it. Each game has become progressively more difficult to design and develop. This interview happened sometime around the beginning of November 2021. Needless to say, it had been some time since Sakurai had written that secret game proposal back in July when he said this. Oops. And though we didn't know about that at the time. Of course, it goes without saying that even if the development of Ultimate sequel had already been planned for, he wouldn't just outright reveal the plans. Of course, because like I said, when you don't have nothing to promote, you don't promote it. Don't promote things that people can't do and people can't use. Like, and that's one of the things why I think a lot of these games that love announcing their game 3 and 4 months before it fucking dropped. That's why I think demos should come back. Cause like when I was younger, bro, demos got me into so many games that I otherwise would have never played. Cause as a jittery, even if you got parents that got like fucking billions of dollars or some shit, which I didn't have, but I'm just saying with billions of dollars or some shit, like sometimes you don't want to buy a game and waste time buying a game, waiting for it to get shipped or getting up to go to any place that's not GameStop that sells that game, to get that game and bring it home and pop it in your console just for you to play it, and you go, wow, this shit is ass, when you could have told that off of like a demo. And like a demo was supposed to be a vertical slice showing you like, hey, this isn't the whole plate, this isn't the burger with the even though people like this disgusting shit, even though this isn't a burger with the lettuce and the tomatoes on top, and a nice little thin slice of cheese, little pickles, maybe like whatever little extra slides, flavorings you like, maybe it's some peppers on that, if you're a nasty fuck, it's a couple onions on that bitch, some spicy pickles like jalapenos and shit like that, like the green pepper looking shit, jalapenos. Put some of those, chop some of those up, put it on the top of your burger or put it in your burger. So imagine if your burger was nice and juicy and all that, and they said instead of giving you the whole burger with the nice tasty bourbon wiped bourbon, what is it called? It's like bourbon fried. It's bourbon some basically when they fry the bacon and they put that little barbecue sauce with the bourbon mixed in it on the bacon. Your bourbon, barbecue, bacon, all that shit. We're not gonna give you the whole burger. What we gonna do is we gonna cut off 1/16 of the burger. We're gonna take that out. We're gonna give it to you. We're gonna show you a couple fries. We're gonna show you a basket of fries and let you have 1 or 2. See this drink on the side? You get to choose what that is. But look at how big this cup that you get to fill up is. That's what a demo would do. Cause if the burger that we're talking about in question was coming from Arby's, as soon as you see that vertical slice, you're gonna be like, nah, this shit is disgusting, gang. Who decided? Oh, ew. Who eats this? This is fucking torture porn. Anybody who eats this piece of shit bullshit is wasting their damn time and money. Arby's head ass, Arby's tier video games, we would know they were Arby's tier by the demo. There are so many games that I played the demo to that I otherwise would have never knew about. Like right now, today, I just got the idea for making a video about my favorite platform fighters of all time. And like on that list is Brawlout. Most of my experience like in life overall playing Brawlout is from the demo. I recently brought the game like this month. This month. I recently brought that game, and even though I brought the game, I still play this shit on the emulator. So it's like not emulators, demos, especially, oh my god, especially the Xbox 360 arcade era, when you didn't have to wait on a magazine, you didn't have to subscribe to and wait on a magazine every month for a demo and hope that that game studio had enough like development process and stuff like that. Damn, what is it? Not development process. But I'm firing on all cylinders. Think about these concepts, but the terms are just losing me today. But basically, like, they don't have enough developers to set a couple developers aside and say, hey, perfectly curate a vertical slice of this game for people to play that will convince them to buy the whole game and play the whole game. Like a lot of development teams didn't have a development team big enough or enough funding to do that. So you just have to hope that the game that you thought looked cool off of these pictures you seen in a magazine had enough developers to even think about getting that treatment, number one, and number two, had enough developers to had enough luck to where they got put on a CD, and then depending on how you was getting that CD, you had to hope you got the right one. Because I'm not old enough for like the Pizza Hut era of it, but I'm like just old enough for like the CD era of it, and bro, that shit was not fun hoping and praying. But like growing up through the 360 era and through like getting a PS4 and having a couple games on it and not being able to afford to get much else because I was a jittery, so you know my money wasn't infinite and I was a badass kid, so my pops wasn't buying me no goddamn games. It was hard out here for a gamer. But there's a lot of games I played like free open betas and demos to that I ended up falling in love with. Bring back demos. Bring back demos. And when y'all like bring back demos and bring back announcing y'all game with demos. Cause like back in the 360 era, when you announced your game about 6 months beforehand, you released an online demo. You let people play the game like a year, like about a year, you beta testing it out more so with gaming journalists because they have a more open mind when it comes to the state of games. So if your game is a little bit ashy, or if it's not running too well, or if there's certain things that's fucking with the game, they have no problem telling you, and then you still have time to like, you know, fix it. Because the 360 and like the beginning of the PS4 era was still the era of your game had to be finished when you dropped it. That was starting to disappear when the PS4 came out. Which, by the way, was in 2013. I specifically got my PS4 in 2016 because I'm not a dumbass. I didn't buy consoles day one because even though I was creating content, like I wasn't like going to show it off or nothing like that. So I was like, there's no point in me buying a PS4 day one. Like just wait a little bit so they iron out the kinks. Wait for the price to drop. Then I get it. You know? But again, either way, if we're going by 2016, that's 2016 to 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's an 8-year-old console, gang. 8. Now, keeping going with the demos thing that I was talking about, you would release a demo or vertical slice of your game, and that's how you would get long-term game sales, because niggas like me would play the game and go, oh, that's cool. Like, bro, I brought Overwatch like 3 years in. I brought Overwatch at least 3 years in. Bro, I didn't buy Overwatch until like I had like my first job, bro. So like releasing free open betas and demos and vertical, because nowadays open beta really just means demo. Well, Overwatch, I was legitimately a beta. It's just that's how I was introduced to it. But nowadays betas are the new demos when they do get released. We need more of those, not early access. No, because that should just be whatever games we have in early access nowadays, that's just an excuse to say, hey, if something in the game fuck up, bug report it and we'll probably get to it. Yeah, no, that's just an excuse to drop an unfinished game, not early access game. I'm talking about demos where they had a curated piece of the game for you to play. Like when I played Deathbound, like bro, if Deathbound didn't have a demo, just looking at the trailers, that shit didn't look fun. I played the game, I said, holy shit. This is on my list for top 5 games of this year. For all the games this year, cuz that's on my top 5. And I just thought of my December video, which I'm gonna write down. My markers aren't over here, so I'm gonna take it in my notes. Hold on, give me a second. Alright, so boom. Oh, I already know one that I'm gonna put on there. Okay, but yeah, that aside, like, yeah, there's a lot of games that benefit from stuff like demos. Game companies, we need more of that. Bring that back. That being said though, let's get back to the article. Although Sakurai would ideally like to eliminate the dependence on his vision for the when did he say that? He probably said like 100 times, but when specifically did he last say that? Shut the fuck up. Well, I'm at, you know what? I'll disable it for this website. Blah blah blah. With the except, where's the quote? What would convince you to come back to make another Smash? Asks The Verge. Do you think if you did return, your role would be different or reduced? I've reached the limit, at least in terms of volume of content and fighters. Basically, if I were to have the opportunity to work on another Smash games, which I'm going to have unless, God forbid, I pass away, that means we would have to shrink the roster, but we would need to think about whether fans would be pleased about that. And the answer I can already tell you off the rip is hell no. Because what's going to happen is you're going to shrink the roster, and people are going to cry, scream, bitch, and moan about putting all the other characters that were in the game back. And you're either going to have to put them back through updates or through DLC and nickel and dime niggas to death, which is not going to be fun. So, yeah. Next game, you better put all the characters from the last game and then the DLC characters for the next game. He has noted that Wish just isn't possible at the moment. Basically, Nintendo said as long as your ass is alive, take that sleeping bag, put it under your desk, and whenever you feel tired, go right there, because you're not leaving the studio, gang. You're going to cook. As of right now, the franchise cannot continue without his involvement. However, there is an interesting caveat to consider. I always thought that was spelled with a K till today. I've never seen that word written down. There is an interesting caveat to consider with this nigga's words. If Sakurai's secret game project is essentially a Smash Bros. Ultimate Deluxe sort of deal, which is not, similar to how Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on Switch improved on what Mario Kart 8 for Wii U offered, then perhaps Sakurai wouldn't consider the title to be a true sequel, but rather a continuation. Sakurai's not gonna allow that to happen, because last time they offered that nigga that deal, he was like, hell no. To this day, Smash has sold over 30 million, blah blah blah. This is a bunch of word and tag stuffing. Y'all get the point though. That's how you know a new Smash game is coming up. Sakurai starts shouting over and over, I don't want to make a new Smash game, I don't want to make a new Smash game. Then either his ego gets to him, and his passion, not ego as in like, I'm the only one that can make this game. No. Just to be clear, I mean ego in a good way. Ego as in, I know I'm the best person for this and I'm still able to be involved, so I am going to be involved. That's what I mean by his ego. His ego is going to tell him, I gotta get up and make a new Smash game. I gotta. Nobody else can do it. That's gonna be his ego the whole time while he's sitting there trying to not make a Smash game. And he knows Nintendo wants one for their successor, so it's either he make it or the shit don't get made. Simple as that. Number one. Number two, like I said, he loves doing this shit. So as long as he's able, he's going to. And even if he's not able, rest in peace, he might pull in Akira Toriyama, where that nigga was deathly sick, still making and trying to wrap up his manga before he passed away. Like, a lot of people, like, there's rumors that that's contributed to his sickness, but those are rumors. Rest in peace. But that's just the way Sakurai is, aka Daddy Sacks. He just wants to work until he drop. It is what it is. This one I kind of wanted to brush over and look at the quote, because yesterday we talked about this more in depth. Basically, Take-Two, the people who own Rockstar 2K and Zynga, which, just in case you don't know, 2K, that's NBA 2K. Rockstar, you know, Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead, Bully. Zynga, those shitty Facebook mobile games that your grandmama plays, they're all made by Zynga. The poker game, yeah, Zynga. Farmville, yeah, Zynga. Whatever other variation is the recent variation of Farmville now, yeah, Zynga. Let's see if there's any direct quotes or anything like that. We're really the best. Yep, there it is. Pause. Don't want to read none. Don't want to see none of that shit. A Take-Two spokesperson has confirmed to GameIndustry.biz, which also spoke to Zelnick about the sale of Private Division to some random niggas that nobody knows. Will be revealed relatively soon. So basically, they said this shit ain't. For those of y'all who missed yesterday, basically Take-Two sold off this part of their gaming company called Private Division because essentially it's just a bunch of indie games that don't microtransaction you to death, like don't microtransaction you to death, or are so games so big that they go outside the sphere of gaming. So for example, Red Dead, Grand Theft Auto, those go very far outside the sphere of gaming. I'm pretty sure your mama and your granny know exactly what Grand Theft Auto is. They may not know who CJ is, Carl Johnson. They may not know what happened. They may not know who ordered 9 number 9s, or the fact that the same person who ordered 9 number 9s is a person yelling at Carl Johnson, telling him all he had to do was follow the damn train. But they know what Grand Theft Auto is, and they know about it, and they understand what the franchise is about and whatnot, right? So those are gonna sell well regardless. 2K and Zynga, they microtransaction you and your granny to death. Take-Two did outline that despite all this, it still continued to support Moon Studios, no rest for the wicked. The exec had a crack at explaining why, blah blah blah. He said strategic decisions. Okay, where's the quote? Oh, we're really the best at big AAA experiences. As I said just now, and as I said yesterday, my suspicions are correct. He said, hey, all them fucking indie games, even though they're all great and all, and we have some critically acclaimed games under our belt, under Private Division, we don't give a fuck. He went on to big up the IPs that the company has under its umbrellas. The likes of GTA, that's a game that prints money. Nobody gives a fuck about boring lands. And then NBA 2K, the microtransaction simulator, because a lot of people think NBA 2K is a basketball simulator. No, it's a how fast can I run on my wallet and buy another $1,000 worth of VC just so that I could still not green in my park and have all my teammates call me different types of slurs simulator. Outlining that to make sequels to existing beloved franchises as well as create new hit intellectual properties is our mission. Oh, so with this is what I didn't know. So to translate this from bullshit corporate speak into what they really mean, how normal people speak, basically he said, we want to save money. We're spending money on these studios. We're not necessarily going negative or positive with these studios. We're basically breaking even, and we're just going a little bit negative, or we're just going a little bit positive. We're not really benefiting from keeping this studio around. they benefit more from us keeping them around than we benefit from keeping them around. And business 101, you don't never do shit that don't benefit you, right? So they was like, fuck it, it benefits us more to sell this. We'll continue to support No Rest for the Wicked, probably because that game might be microtransaction to death the fuck out. But they said otherwise, we could sell this off, take the money that not only we got from selling them off, but the money we saved from not spending anything, having a maintenance, upkeep, or pay employees at these studios, and put it towards something like GTA, put it towards something like Ronnie 2K's salary, just so he could lie to you niggas again, and just for you niggas to listen and go, ah, sweet, that sounds like a cool feature. Yet another time just to never get the fucking feature. Fuck you 2K fans. Anytime I could call you niggas dumb pieces of shit, I will, because you are. But to go on with the article, so where did that leave Private Division? Well, the CEO did say the label did a great job supporting indie developers. Translation, all the games that came out that studio ain't make us a fucking dime. We don't care. We bet, like I said, they benefit more from selling it than from keeping it. And had plenty of its projects do well. He went on to add that, like I said the other day, Hades, that game did very well financially. A game that only came out at first on PC, that ended up being released on every platform from PS4 to Nintendo Switch to Epic Game Store. That game did very, very well. So they had some bangers under their belt. On the smaller side, and we're in the business of still making great big hits. Basically, they said, again, in case y'all need more evidence that what I'm telling is not just me trying to be funny, is me actually breaking it down. He said, we're in the business of making great big hits. Now, was Outer Wilds a good game? Yes. Was it a great big hit? Fuck no. Is it on the same tier as any of the Rockstar recent releases? That being Red Dead 2, GTA 5, and was about to be GTA 6, but jury's still out, game ain't out. But is this game gonna make sales on par with GTA 5 or Red Dead? No, none of them are. So they said we get rid of them. We're still in the business of making bangers, and we don't care. According to the numbers, those shits ain't bangers. It's a depressing thing to hear. The head of massive, well, the company's still alive. It's not like they dissolved it and broke it down and said, all you developers that work at these indie studios now go work on 2K. Like they still have a job. The studio just got sold off. Well, I mean, to be fair, the studio could collapse over there, but nah, I would counter that by saying it could have collapsed with Take-Two either way. It's a depressing thing to hear the head of a massive games company say, if not blah blah. It's okay though, GTA 6, yeah, that's the last paragraph. Exit out of that. So yeah, pretty much what I said right there in black and white with several different pieces of a statement you could take, analyze, and break down and see that what I'm saying 100% true. But something that was 100% untrue, and I swear to God I didn't plan this transition. When it comes to something 100% untrue, is the longest running GTA 5 conspiracy about Mount Chiliad. Now, for those of you who aren't very familiar, basically in Grand Theft Auto 5, there's certain things you can do, and it's more than just Mount Chiliad, but there's certain missions where you could find Easter eggs, or you could do ultra specific things to unlock certain certain well-hidden Easter eggs within the game. Now, one of the Easter eggs that's been in the game is the conspiracy of Mount Chiliad, and that in GTA 5 it has something to do with like the story, even though the story never has like aliens or anything magical or sci-fi, nothing like that per se, nothing like that there were aliens, like off-earth aliens canon to GTA 5, but apparently an ex-dev says he's shutting that theory down. Now, for the fact that he's an ex-dev, I'm just gonna say, no hard feelings, but you must be a disgruntled employee. There's no way you're telling the truth. Anyway, let's read on. As I say, I always skip the first couple paragraphs because that tells you shit that I could summarize, or that I probably did summarize before I started reading the article. While most GTA conspiracists are busy trying to predict trailer drops for the next game, there are still some focus on the enduring enigmas and the fifth mainline edition of Grand Theft Auto. The Mount Chiliad mystery has captured the imagination of players since GTA 5's launch in 2013, 11 years later! Now, GTA 5 is not a bad game. It has gameplay that has stood the test of time. But 11 years later, I feel like a lot of people, because they're so scared of buying a PS5, they're over there. I don't want to uproot it, but they're over there pretending it's a PS5, clutching their PS5 like, no, it still works. It still works. That game, 150 FPS, 144 is the lowest it could go to. I feel my PS5 can run it and not blow up too crazy. Like, yeah, sure, as soon as I try and boot into the game, it'll blow up, but it'll only be enough heat to blow up off the lid, off the PlayStation, so I'll still be able to play the game. Niggas is suffering from copium. Niggas forget that this game came out on Xbox 360, and I remember that specifically because I had it on Xbox 360, and the amount of shit you had to do to get this game running on 360 was crazy. Now, if you played on Xbox One, PS4, PC, PS5, Xbox Series, all you really had to do was slip the disc in, wait for it to download and install, and you were good. But a 360/PS3 inversion, nigga, you had to get a USB, and you had to delete everything off of it, enter it into your console, wait for it to populate files, and the USB had to be at least 16 gigabytes, which for back then, I don't want to say it was extremely rare, but was a bit more rare, on the rare side for the average person. But you get my point. You had to jump through all these hoops and hurdles just to play GTA 5 on Xbox 360. Shit ain't running on no fucking PS4. And that game dropped 11 years ago. Just like I was talking about in the last article, 11 years ago. There's still an active subreddit of over 40,000 users attempting to solve it. Unfortunately for those, Ben Hinchcliffe on GTA 6 o'clock might signal the end of their long searches for meaning. Hinchcliffe explained how implementing Easter eggs works in the Rockstar team, blah, blah, blah. How does it work, gang? Wait, first off, let me drink some water. Drink some water, kiddos. It's healthy for you. Anyway, let's go back to reading. When questioned about the conundrum, qualified bitch ass nigga Hinchcliffe that said that while he didn't work on this particular Easter egg, there's been some reaching on the part of fans. Obviously, there's always desire to put these really complex Easter egg hunts and trails that the rally my brain read rally and just got stuck. Obviously, there's always a desire to put in these really complex Easter egg hunts and trails that the really dedicated players will follow. And as with all Easter eggs, he interjected, sometimes you just put them in to mess with people. They don't actually do anything. You just mess with people just to drive them a little bit crazy. According to Hinchcliffe, the Mount Chiliad mystery is just one such example. Someone who used to follow like news and updates on the new discoveries and theories about the Mount Chiliad history. When I saw this earlier, I had to hold on. When I was scrolling on through my news articles and I saw this earlier, I had to hit him with the a couple thug tears. Like, I ain't cry out both eyes because I ain't a bitch ass nigga, but I had to cry some thug tears out one eye. One side of my face was a little bit parched. I shed a thug tear. You not a bitch if you cry finding out that the Mount Chiliad mystery was fake the whole fucking time. Cause like, it's like Michael Jackson dying, bro. Like, if you went to a Michael Jackson concert as a grown man and passed out, nobody's gonna look at you weird like you a bitch ass nigga, like you a weirdo, like you fanned out, and none of that. Nigga, that's Michael Jackson. That's Michael Jackson, nigga. You could pass out for Michael Jackson. Now, if you out here passing out for Lil Pump or some shit, like, nah, nigga, you're a whole groupie. Sit your weird ass the fuck down. But like, Michael Jackson, like when Michael Jackson passed, if a nigga shed a little thug tear, as long as it wasn't out of both eyes, cause you would be crying like a bitch. But if you shed a little thug tear, you good, you chilling, it's a little bit sad, gang. That's a little bit sad. That's how I felt when I found out that this whole shit was fake the whole goddamn time. It is what it is. This list, this isn't more so news. This is something I wanted to do for giggles and shits and just read through it because I thought it might be interesting to read through on stream, knowing that